I recently had a company reach out to me asking if I would do a review on their product. It is a soldering iron. It's got a pretty cool feature, and I'm hoping it works the way that it appears that it should. As you can see behind me, I've got this 1965 Ford Ranchero. I will be doing all new wiring in it, and so the timing on this was pretty good. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get this open, kind of check out what we got, and then we'll do some testing. A lot of times I do remote starts, so I've got some extra harnesses that we can play with wiring. They sent some solder, a solder sucker, or solder remover. I don't know what the proper term is on that. In case you've never used one, I'll show you real quick how it's intended to be used. It's just a plunger. You push it down like that. There's a spring in here, and this is basically a reverse syringe. It's when you push this button, that piston will suck back, and if you've got solder that's melted, it'll suck up right through here. And I'll hold this in closed, and this shouldn't come all the way back because of the suction here. Yeah. You can see that. So this is the unit. All right, I will see if I can get this put together without looking at instructions. And the idea behind this is, if you think about a MIG welder, you have wire being fed into a gun. So what we have here this is a spool holder, and it just, I'm guessing now, but you can see here that just goes on. You just push it in place. So I guess one thing you want to make sure of is the solder that you buy. You want to make sure that this will fit through the middle of it. And to feed this, it says to push. I guess we'll do this. To feed the solder through the tube, which you can see the tube comes out here, and it appears to be somewhat adjustable. We'll dig into that when we're actually using it, but in order to get that fed through, you push this in. So you can start it, and then wherever it's hitting the spinning mechanism, it's going to stop. So you push this in and just push it, and we'll just push it until it comes out the end here. So that is adjustable. All right, so I've got this positioned where the solder might actually run out and not actually hit the tip, but hit the wire. Again, we'll know more as we get into it and actually start using it. But this is the idea here. I guess I can pull some of this back through. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and prep some of these wires just to see what it takes to get them soldered up. I'll probably grab a little alligator hand thing that I have that will hold these in place for us. If you do much soldering, this is a pretty handy outfit. I'll go ahead and just take a piece of wire here. We'll get this plugged in. One thing I guess that would be an improvement is having a stand for it. Because I imagine once this is plugged in, it starts heating up. And right now I'm on a plastic table, so I need to make sure I've got that hanging over the table. So here we'll get a wire prepped up. So here all I've done is just twisted them together, and we'll wait for this to heat up. Actually, there is a switch on here. A switch here, and then there's a little door here. And here you can see the mechanism. Okay, so it's not automatic, it's a ratcheting situation. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on and let it start getting heated up. I got this ready. I'll get some larger wires ready. Okay, looks like we've got some heat. Well, that's soldered together. Here's one. I don't really need this, but looks like it's helpful for showing what we got going on here. So what we're doing now is we're using this to heat the wire, and then once the wire is hot, the solder will actually wick into the copper individual strands. And so I'm just testing it to see if it's hot enough to do the wicking. So it's a 60-watt soldering iron. Yeah, we should be hot enough to do this. All right, so there's still a little bit of area here that needs more solder, so I'm gonna let this heat up. So maybe that's the ticket. You come in from the side with a soldering iron, and then you push the solder in. Looks like it's working pretty good here. And you can see, maybe you can see how this is getting shiny, and the clips are starting to dig into the wire. That's a little too hot. It's going to take a little using and just getting used to it. All right, so I'm gonna unhook this, let it cool off. We'll take a closer look at this mechanism and see how it works. All right, so we've had a chance to cool off. I just kind of wanted to show you the mechanism in here. As we push this trigger down, this gear at the bottom is rolling forward, and that's going to pull our material. So we'll push this in here. Okay, there we go. So it's hit that wheel. As we turn forward, it's going to grab. And this is not the right way. The correct way to do this is by pushing this ear down, and that will allow us to push the soldering material all the way through till it gets in here to this other ear. So we'll just keep pushing until it comes out the end here. There we go. And then you let go. And then in order for the material to push out the end, as we push this down, that gear is going to move, and that gear is just grabbing this material here and pushing it forward. So that's what you see here. If this was hot, that's going to melt on there. And it's going to depend on your application as to what you need this to be doing. One thing I found is if I had a thicker gauge wire touching up against here, such as kind of like in this situation here, if we put heat on the wire and then we're able to push the solder into the wire, once it gets hot, we can go that route. I think this is definitely worth checking out, and the links are in the description below. I really like the concept and I think it can work, and I think I need more time with it. So as I go further, obviously in my videos, I've got a lot of wiring to do, and this may be in future videos. So put it in the comments if you'd like for me to use this as I'm doing more wiring, or any other things you'd like to know about this. I'd be happy to do any more testing. It is something, like I said, I really like the idea. I have a continuous improvement mindset, so I like to find better ways of doing something. So if you have any suggestions, put those in comments below, and we will just do some more testing on this. But for now, that's all I have on this.